Yeah, hatred and envy, don't let it tempt me. I move defensive. Evil offends me, I get repentance. We come from trenches. I'm in the secret place of the Most High, you can't offend me. Hamashiach built many mansions, that's where my rent be. Father, help me overcome. People who I used to look up to, they turning foes for none. Father, you my strength and you my courage. I feel bold for some. I wanna feel your spirit on my body like it's clothes or something. Put my vision in your one direction like it's froze or something. I can feel the hatred in their heart, it's like I owe them some. Yeah, they full of nerves like my hands or my toes or something. No nervous system, but you know I feel it like I'm holding some. Stay in my lane. Anyway, I spin it like I bowl or something. As if I need them for my elevation, like they rope or something. Anyways, I'm too high up your spirit like I'm rolling some. Son of the Most, I pay my dues forever, owe you one. Yeah. If it wasn't for your presence, I would have no peace, believe it. See, the Bible is my weapon, I don't have no beef, I'm vegan. Yeah, your highness, you a blessing, you a masterpiece, I mean it. And I'm fighting for your presence, full of passion, cause I need it. Father, will we make it in? Once we face the end, I'll be looking for your grace within. I've been studying through Corinthians and Galatians. I done found the faith within. The end is so close, you can physically see it. How real is this realm if you can spiritually live it? America so wicked, it's like living in Egypt. And our souls not like them, we out here living with demons. They got
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long. I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
We will shut shit down.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Dolton Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Okay, next.
A bullshit. A bullshit.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. Hey, y'all. Grace is in the building. What's today? A Tuesday at 11 a.m.? Y'all know I just be popping up. We trying to see what the algorithm working with. First, we want to say hit the like button. You already see what's happening to us. Please support. I'm grateful to be here today and not have a strike. How about that? So, today, we're going to continue our conversation about what's going on in Dolton. So as I mentioned, I wanted to do a little deep dive into block by block. Okay, so I wanted to understand what Heyard was presenting, how the board react to it, and where we're at today. So I have a few clips because in one of the board meetings, Tiffany Heyard did a little video, like she always do. And in that video, she referenced some particular board meetings where she brought up the block by block and it was stricken down. So if you got time for it this morning, we're going to go into it. You got a few hours. Yeah, I got a few hours. Hit the like button. I love you guys and thank you for the support. So let's get it on the screen because I got about an hour and a half of clips that I have broken down myself. You know, so please bear with me. It's unedited, but we're going to, just go through it. And we're going to start from, I believe the beginning starts from May 2nd, 2022. And then it kind of flashed back into a few of the dates that Heyard mentioned that her idea was shot down. So I do want to highlight when watching these series of videos, I did notice that the resident of Dolton were actually interested in Tiffany Heyard's block by block. So you guys know I'm a real estate investor. We're going to look at it from that perspective to see if her idea was actually good and versus what the trustees were trying to do. Okay, so let's get this started.
The presentation.
Mayor, again, the guy has to talk to first. Get it on the agenda.
All I'm saying is everybody wants us to talk, but the facts are the facts. You guys submit everything else that you want on the agenda for people to present, things you want to vote on, but you're not putting the things you're saying and you place the blame on the individual. I will not allow you to place blame on my village administrator until you take responsibility for your action as trustee.
Mayor, I have taken responsibility. As I said before, Mayor, I'm not gonna allow you to sit here and say that.
But let me finish.
That I'm not gonna do.
You can say your statement out there.
But that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm saying you place blame, but don't take responsibility, trustee. You're not. You're out of order right now.
Coming in hot. Y'all already know, coming in hot.
Mayor, again, you know what? We're not gonna go with the back and forth because every time I say something, you gotta come back and say something.
What I'm saying to you is you're out of order right now. Thank you. So what I'm saying to everybody out here is that it's not good that the board of trustees place blame but don't take responsibility when they have the power. They have the things to do what they need to do. If you want a program, you could have put it together. You guys could have had a housing meeting because y'all are open committees, right? But what is stopping y'all from doing the things that you want to do? Nothing. Then when you get up here, you place blame on the mayor and her administrator. No, we have nothing to do with that. When you can press go and say, hey guys, let's have a housing committee meeting and let's talk about the multiple programs that we want to initiate. But y'all have not done that for over a year. Over a year. So stop.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I've been looking for the housing committee meeting videos and I have not found them at all. I really wanted to get into it. So I'm going to have to, kind of agree with Heyard right here. I haven't seen them. Maybe they have not recorded them. But yeah, this was one of the issues within this decision process, that there was a housing committee and allegedly they were not meeting, allegedly.
That's great. Again, we have had a housing meeting. You didn't attend it. So we had a housing meeting and nobody else attended it, not your staff either. So we discussed those things. Again, you can't put anything on the agenda if he's not putting it on there.
He puts everything on.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
no, he does not. He didn't even show up for the meeting. We had a housing meeting. We talked about the land bank. We discussed the land bank. The land bank will not be taking all the properties. We choose the properties that we want the land bank to take. So again, let's get the facts straight before we put them out there.
Okay, so
if we don't have facts straight, then let's put them out there.
Are we getting money from the land bank that came from the properties that
we will be getting money from the land bank. Attend the meeting, man. So you have that opportunity to ask that.
Did you discuss that and say what dollar amount we get? We
talk to the land bank. We are setting up a meeting to see the amount that we're going to get. If we're not getting dollars, then we're not going with the land bank, man. So like I'm saying, you must hear me talk about it. I talked about it. If we're not getting any money, we will not go with the land bank, man.
But you did. You guys voted for the land bank with no roots, no paperwork, no nothing. See how you giving them the opportunity?
Again, let me just say this, man.
You see how you giving them the opportunity?
Did not attend the housing committee meeting. You keep saying we didn't have one. We did have a housing committee meeting. You were not present, nor your administrator, nor none of your staff. So again, you don't know what's going on if you don't attend. So
all right. Well, what I would say to you, I haven't seen the housing meeting public, but what we're going to highlight this morning is the land bank versus the block by block. Now, I want you to listen in detail of both of their arguments because you're going to be able to understand what they're talking about as we go through the series. So just to give you a heads up, one of the things that Heyard just said was, well, you approved the land bank without having a basically foundational, a plan. And this was one of the issues that was basically like the forefront of the trustees not approving Heyard's block by block. But I think it's a little bit more, but the foundations was they kept saying, you need to come with a plan, show us more than one page, have more foundation. But we're going to get it. We're going to continue to listen.
Not placing the blame. I'm telling the truth. I'm stating the facts.
Okay, are you finished?
No, I'm not done.
Okay, so with that being said, I need you to make sure that you include us in whatever the housing meeting that you're saying you had, number one, because we didn't know anything about it. So you guys are saying one thing up here that you didn't have access to the housing meeting, to have it here. Now you're saying you did have a housing meeting. But what I'm saying is, trustee, if it's something that you want to do, or something you want to place on the agenda, all you have to do is send it in like y'all send everything else in, and we place it on the agenda. So that is a lie when you say that we're not placing things on the agenda. All right, go ahead, trustee. No, go ahead. No, what?
Okay, thank you. So it was
Hold on,
a couple of things that I want to clear up. First, you stated that we weren't receiving anything. We're not receiving anything from the land bank. As Trustee Brown stated, we did have a housing committee meeting where we were really informative. I actually had residents call me about it afterwards, so they were actually tuned in. And we are working out something so that we can be reimbursed. We will go over with the public. We do get a chance to decide what homes we get to them, and they do have a system. That's what they specialize in. As you are aware, ma'am, we have had the land bank here once before. When we sold Taco Bell, we did receive compensation. So I think when you say that we're not receiving anything, that's absolutely incorrect. That's one. And then in regards to the program, all they're saying is it doesn't have enough information. So when you say approve it and we'll add, and I'll add to it later, that's the concern. It's already a lack of transparency on the board. So with the lack of transparency, we can't trust that the homes are going to be given away as you state in your program. And all we're saying is, hey, let's have something concrete so that we know exactly what we're doing, exactly who's receiving the home.
And that is their major concern. We're going to forward just a little bit because I want to get to the land bank, and we're going to get back to May 2nd, 2022 meeting. So what we just was looking at was May 2nd, 2022 meeting. They have kind of brought it up most recently, but this was like the, the nail in the casket. So we're flashing back a little bit. And we're going to get to when they had they presented the land bank. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on. Now, this land bank was presented by one of the trustees. And I can understand the hesitation. So let's get to it.
Okay, so that's
now, y'all, if y'all cannot hear it, I have the subtitles down here. Just let me know, and I'm going to read it to you. So this is Heyard basically saying, we're going to give you our inventory, and she's asking, like, what type of profit will we get? So let me know if y'all can hear. I'm trying to put the volume up as much as possible. This recording was low. Some of the videos on the Dolton trustee page, especially when it came to the last video I'm going to show y'all, last part, it was really messed up the audio. So I'm going to try best to listen.
That's correct. There's some property.
So this is a video that Heyard is showing about the actual meeting that they had with the land bank. So this is in your video. Let me clarify. So as you know, Heyard is very dramatic, and this is her video. I'm going to make my commentary about this video, but I'm just highlighting. This is the video that she was showing. I believe this was May 2nd clip. We still there, highlighting the block by block, and then she's going to highlight the dates where she presented. Okay.
All right, thank you. So I rest my case. So if you guys go back and look at those board meetings, you just heard the individual stating that we won't get a dime of proceeds from the land bank. That's all I'm trying to make the residents see up here, what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So is there approval for block by block? Can I have a motion?
I'm gonna approve
block
it.
by block?
I approve it.
It's been a motion. Is there a second? Is there a second? Okay, so there you have it, residents. Once again, block by block has failed. Board of Trustees do not want to put the vacant properties back on the tax roll. Next on the agenda, we have follow-ups
and that was Andrew Home, her only flunky that's always voting with her.
That is Village of Dolton overdue for your item. That is in.
All right, so these are the dates that we flash back to, which was July 19th, August of 2021, August 20th, 2021, November 15th, 2021, April 18th, 2021, and this is actually that's the video, that's the date. Now, what I will say, August 20th don't exist, okay? So we did get a clip from August the 2nd. I was looking, I couldn't find August 20th, so I don't know where she got that reference, but on August 2nd, there was some changes to fees related to investors. So we're going to talk about that, and some of the stipulations that was highlighted here, part of the program, I'm not sure would it had attract investors. You know, myself being an investor, I don't know if I would have been readily interested in investing in Dolton, highlighting the program that Heyard was actually offering. But we're going to get into it.
Discussion and possible action for block by block program. As a trustee, 2 years ago when I was a village trustee, I advocated for a block by block housing program.
So this is July 19th. Okay, guys, let's get to it.
What that entailed was getting all the vacant invited properties back on the tax roll by offering them to the community. And what that means is you, resident, can buy a house from the Village of Baltimore for $5,000. I had two structures. That was one, it had to be owner occupied, and the other structure was free for $1 a house. And that was for investors. And people ask me to this day, well, trustee Mayor, why did you make them theirs $1 and ours $5,000? So the dollar homes are the properties that need the most work. So some of the houses, like how we were just speaking of demolition, that might look like need demo to the resident eye, but investors can see the house and the inside can be put together, but just need a gut job. So that a house like that will go to an investor because they have to put between $20,000 to $50,000 into their home. That's why it's basically $1 or free given to them. So let me break it down how we make our money, and I'm starting with the free and the dollar homes for investors. These are the qualifications. Board members, by any means, add to, subtract, or whatever you guys feel that we need to do to make it work. Proof of funds, and if I read this, all board members, this was in your email too. Proof of funds of $20K minimum. So you have to prove that investor that you have the money. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot come to the Village of Dolton and say you want a property and you want to get in the big boy league, that's what I call it, because you gotta have the money to fix the property up. If you don't have the money, you cannot buy a property from us or get a property from us and sit on it for 30 days, 60 days, a year. We're not doing it for that reason. We're doing this to put all our vacancies back on. So you must also have a licensed and funded contractor that's in the Village of Dolton. You must pull a 90-day permit. You must get a housing inspection, initial and a final, and then an additional fee, because this is how we will make our money as relates to the village. Additional fee would be for a final inspection. Like say you fail and you have to come back, so you have to pay again for another inspection. So there's 3 different inspection fees that the village will make. The escrow is only $1,000. It will be a lottery for investors, so that means we're going to pull a number. Some people ask me why not pull a name, and the reason for not pulling the name is say my last name could be Heyard, somebody else's name could be Heyard, your name could be Smith, and somebody else's name is Smith. So we're going to go with a number system. You must, and I repeat, you must sell the property. This is how the village makes their money. So you will walk with a 75%, and we will walk with a 25% split. Is how it would go.
Wow.
Of course, budget for the unforeseen, and everybody should get an attorney. I tell everybody that get an attorney. Don't come on over here because it's so cheap and don't know the legal part of buying a house. Investor must sell property. And then I suggest that you hire a private inspector. But sometimes you can get into a property and it got a ton of issues. It could be sinking, it could be anything, but you get someone to check it out for you before you put your money up. You will lose your money. That will help you out.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Red light, red light. I wish I had the horn. She said you will lose your money. Now we're just gonna highlight some things of what she said. Okay. This idea I don't think totally originated from Heyard. We're just before we get into the stipulations that she put on for the investor, made me have to hold my breath. We're just going to flash into what was going on around the same time. I think it's in Baltimore. Baltimore was offering something similar, houses for $1. So I do think this idea possibly stemmed from this. You can buy a house in Baltimore for $1 after plans okay to sell some city-owned properties. Baltimore officials approved a program that will sell city-owned vacant homes for as little as $1. The city board of estimated vote on the program during the meeting on Wednesday morning, despite pushback from the city council president, Nick Mobsby. The board passed the new price structure for city-owned vacant homes on the Buy Into Be More website, and the 4-1 vote by Mobsby was the sole opposition. Baltimore has over 13,500 vacant properties, nearly 900 is which is owned by the city, according to the Department of Housing. The fixed prices program will only apply to certain city-owned properties, according to the page of DHCH website. So I'm bringing this up because I do believe that this was probably where the idea came, similar to buyers need to promise to fix up the home. Who can buy the home? So the purchasers, to those purchasing a home in the program must promise to renovate the property and have at least $90,000 to fix it up. Owners must also move in within a year and stay in the home for 5 years. Now, you're going to listen how Tiffany Heyard's plan, because this is her plan. It's actually a plan, but I don't think she actually wrote it to present it to the board, and that's her problem. But I do see where she presented some ideas about the dollar sale, and then you're going to hear about the 5,000. Now, it's like she just took this. Look at that. I had to look at this little bug. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in Georgia. It's hot. They all acting crazy. It's like something from outside. Anyway, got distracted. Like, oh, the bug. All right. So basically, listening to this, you're going to compare it to Tiffany Heyard's plan and see how she kind of took this plan, maybe, and just made it into her own. But I'm going to highlight that is major risk in her plan. So just reading this, the purchaser in this particular program, that's why I know this didn't work. And if this did work, it was only for investors, because not a private owner or a personal person would have $90,000 sitting unless they was able to have a personal loan. Okay, secure a personal loan. And you know, it's been hard to secure a personal loan in these last couple of years based on people's status. The interest rate status mean them having jobs, the money to pay, and the interest rate. Okay, so in this particular program, which I think was not structured correctly, $90,000 to fix it up was required. Owner must move in within 1 year and stay in the home. So it seemed to be kind of focused on the general public and not private investors by saying a person must move in. But how is this going to work? How many people in their area could afford this? So during Wednesday's meeting, Mobsby said the program does not have guardrails written in place that will ensure the city resident has priority to buy these homes and won't be forced out of the neighborhood with their condition when their conditions improve. And that is gentrification, because once you bring the value up by fixing the homes and things like that, you start getting people that want to come in, price value go up, and then taxes go up, and then the people who was there paying a fixed amount of, have a fixed amount of income and paying a fixed amount as far as taxes on their home, this is how they end up losing their home. Okay, so let's keep this in mind. And this is probably why Mobsby was like, wait, something, we don't want this to slow down. Make sure that the residents have a chance. And with that $90,000 fixed rate, that they may not have a chance. May not have a chance. All right. So who can buy a home for $1? It says, as part of this program, only individual buyers and community land trusts will be able to purchase these properties for $1. Nonprofits with 50 or fewer employees will pay $1,000, while developers and nonprofit with more than 50 employees will pay $30,000. So they had some requirements to it, but we're going to highlight the concept of guardrails. And this person is saying that there was no guardrails. And I think that is the issue with Heyard's program, that it really wasn't no guardrails. It was mandatory things that they had to do as far as investors, and we're about to get into it now. Okay, so let's just go back to what Heyard said specifically about the dollar program. So you see how it was remarkably similar to the other one. Blessings. Good morning, Kathy. I want to say go periodically back and forth to the chat. Please bear with me. I'm still getting my bearings. So I'll be going back and forth to say hi to you guys and state your comments. Okay. Now, back to what I was saying as far as the dollar program. Me as an investor, I don't think that I would have been totally comfortable with this type of investment. You know, as investors in real estate or just in any investor, you want flexibility. And it seems the program that she wanted to structure was not flexible and a little taxi on an investor. So realistically, how many people will actually want to participate? So let's get back into it. She said for the dollar homes that will be basically sell to investors, they'll have to have proof of funding of $20,000, which is not bad, because when you go into any real estate sale, you have to have proof of funding. $20,000 is not as bad as 90. Okay. Now she's talking about having a lottery. Before she talked about the lottery dealing with numbers and not names. So that was fair. What I found was a little out of pocket was the requirements for 3 inspections. And as you listen, when she talked more about inspections, you're going to see why in one of the clips they increased the fees. Okay. Allegedly. Okay. So this is like, she kind of had a plan in her head. So 3 inspection, I will understand, 1, 2, possibly, but 3 inspections is a little bit a lot. It depends on the particular situation. She also mentioned, and I don't think in this clip, but she said after the 3rd inspection, if they fail, they'll have to pay an additional fee. I think I have that in another clip as this advance. Okay. Now, me as an investor, I'll be a little skeptical because usually it's an inspection after everything get fixed, and that's it. It's done. 2 and 3 inspections, we're not doing that, especially to remember how she behaves with her inspection, i.e. the doctor who owned the food pantry, those type of things she was doing, i.e. Not Pablo's, but the barbershop, what she was doing to him. And we're going to get back into that as soon as we get an update, of that case, of what's going on with that. But it seems like, it's a little crooked when it came to the inspection processes in Dolton. So that would have made me scared as an investor, because definitely as an investor, we research and we ask questions. So escrow, having an escrow account of $1,000, for what? Don't understand. The escrow will be set up between myself and a seller. So the seller will put, let's say, myself and a buyer. So if the buyer was interested in buying the property, they will put, let's say, a deposit, earnest money in the escrow. And that is just for the initial process until the deed and everything is done and we transfer the property. So I'm not too sure as far as what the escrow is for, but it may be in holdings and related to the inspection. She kind of had an idea. She kind of had some plans here, but the plans involve taxation on the investor a lot. Also, what's really kind of alarming to me was that the investor must sell the property. Okay. Now, that is something that an investor wants to have the right to do or not to do, especially if they're into, being landlords or, that that particular situation, or they can use it as co-ops. It depends, if it's a college around, you can rent it seasonal. Like, it's so many things we can do with properties as investors. So to put a cap and say what we have to do, that will limit who would actually participate in this program. So I need you guys to pay attention to this as far as the residents, because I know a lot of you guys were kind of into it, but I don't know if y'all knew the logistics. So realistically, how many investors will come in on this particular program, highlighting that they will only make 75% of profit after spending all this money. Okay. And it probably wouldn't be as much as the fair market value, depending on how damaged the home is. Okay, if you got a home that's $250,000 and you buy it for $1 and you do 3-4 inspections and they're $300 or whatever they are, and then you got to get a whole bunch of stuff fixed, so you're already spending like $30,000. I'm just throwing things out there, as well as permits, as well as insurance. Those things kind of add up. You may spend less than the fair market value, but then to have the pressure to sell it in the market that we have in Dolton, no disrespect, Dolton, you have to have commodities, you have to have things that will lure people into your area. So to say, okay, this has to be sold, the investors like, what is the chances we really could sell this? Who can buy it? Who will want to buy it? So those are some of the things I was thinking about when I was listening. And I was like, Dag, as an investor, would I have did that in Dolton? I don't think so. I wouldn't have done it myself. So if you were an investor, let me know how you feel. Like, would you have invested knowing that it was all these restrictions? And we're going to get into the $5,000 homes, that she was selling in the programs for that. Okay. So she also highlighted, and this is most important, when I raise my hand, like, oh, you will lose your money. What do you mean? Now, usually we're here something that's similar when you go to tax lien sales. When I teach about tax lien sales and tax deed sales, you go on the website of the tax assessor. They tell you about the sale. They tell you about everything, but they tell you buyer beware, because these properties could come with liens. They can come with encumbrance. They can be actually condemned. So that's why I teach these type of research techniques on primetime home buyers for people who are investing in real estate to do their due diligence. But that goes to say, I'm kind of letting the cat out the bag early, but someone asked Tiffany where these properties were going to be coming from, and the broad said the scavenger sale. Okay, when we get to it, we're going to get into the scavenger sale. Okay, that is a problem, because they are a lot of condemned properties that you may not be able to bring back to life. And once you buy it, that's what she said, buyer beware. This is where I think the uncomfort came in with the trustees, if they heard that. Because at the end of the day, if they buy all these scavengers properties, until they're sold, the liability is on the village. Okay, I know I said a lot, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Kind of sound like a little Ponzi scheme, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to it. So let's listen to how her plan will help the residents of Dolton.
So now let's move on to the houses that's $5,000. The reason why I structured it this way is because most homeowners cry to me about how can they help their loved one, like a kid that just got out of high school, or someone that.
And hold on, Kathy Fields, you had a question. What if no one purchased the homes in a year? What happens? Honestly, her plan did not escalate that far. And that was a question. And she kind of, when it came to questions detail, at one point she talks about the lawyer structurized the law, this, that, and the third, and they'll give us the guidelines. So there's no particular answer to that.
Come home from college and they want to buy them a home. I don't know where they do this at in the world where you can have home ownership for $5,000. That means that you own a house for $5,000. A house can be worth $100,000 in Boston. I don't know if y'all been watching the market lately, but these houses, Brittany or Trustee Norwood, they're going for $250,000. And I say, what is that? Where are they doing that? And they are. And they actually doing a great job on remodeling the homes. But it shows you that investor cared enough to put that kind of value to the property by putting in granite countertops, they doing hardwood floors throughout, things of that nature. So I'm just trying to just enlighten you on what's going on with our housing market in Dalton. Every time something get right on the market, it's gone like literally in 2.3 seconds. And Trustee Norwood can attest to this, that half the properties when you go up for a bid, it's a bidding war in Dalton. I know that's crazy.
And to highlight, the bidding war is not coming from the residents. As an investor in tax liens and tax deed, as I told you, in Georgia, at least 30%, and I think plus at this point, is owned by private investors. That's why to rent is out of pocket. The requirements is out of pocket, and people can't even afford the housing out here.
But it really is. So I know for a fact that once we initiate this, trustee, everybody's gonna come forward. I get texts and people from Texas and Florida asking to buy both houses, like in 20 increments. I told them that's not what this program is structured for. It's structured for the people. So now let's get to the 5,000 unoccupied. You must live in this house for 5 years. Let's make sure you got that clear. So say for instance, you come in, your number come out of the head, you're number 5. So now you have to be a Dalton resident. That means you have to live in Dalton. You must live in the house for 5 years. And no, you can't go change your ID right now and say you live in Dalton. You have to already been living here. You must complete repairs within 90 days. You must pull a 90-day permit. You must have housing inspections, initial and final. And then also same thing applies to investors. Additional fees, if you fail that inspection, you have to pay for the 3rd time to re-inspect. Escrow is only $500 for owner occupied. There will be a lottery, and we will put a number for the resident. Budget is always unforeseen. Hire a private inspector. Homeowner training to maintain property, including annual inspection. There will be an annual inspection attached to this 5-year plan. So you cannot just come and get a house from us and think you're going to stay in it, say 1 year, and then the next year you rent it to your cousin or your auntie. You're not doing it. You will lose your investment that you put into that property, and we will take the property back. That's how I'm having the attorney structure the law when we get ready to vote on it at the next board meeting. If you stay in this house for 5 years, it is yours. It is free and clear. There's no taxes attached to this property. What else am I missing besides let the buyer beware? Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's as it relates to buying a house.
Stop right there. She still have the buyer beware. Okay. I don't like it. I'm going to just tell y'all, I don't like it. It seems like it turns into the actual township being your landlord. This is very restrictive. And is this actually doable for a resident in Dolton? Let's highlight the people's pay rate, okay? Pay rates across the United States is extremely low compared to inflation. So I can imagine what's going on in Dolton. And I'm not saying y'all broke, because we had some people come there talking about, I make $100,000, things like that. That's understandable. But I know y'all struggling just like the way we are. So to have all these requirements that we about to go through is a little bit too much. First and foremost, when you buy a home, you want to have flexibility. You want to be able to possibly rent the home. Why not? You can live in there. Now, if you have a FHA loan, some FHA loans do require you to stay in the home for at least 2 to 3 years. But the FHA loan takes people at a lower credit rate, no down payment. They make, this is in Georgia, I'm gonna give you an example. They make you go to a program to learn a little bit about home ownership, inspection, maintaining, and they don't have any requirements where you continue to get inspected with this FHA loan. You know what they were given, like low at 3%. So that allowed people to get into the market. All they had to do was have homeowners insurance as well as insurance on the loan. Okay. Which is understandable. If they concede on a loan, the insurance will pay back because this program was given at a low interest rate. But let's get into her program, how realistic it is and how many people will actually go for it. Okay. Tax increases on salvage sale properties, discourage potential tax buyers. I'm going to read that again and you kind of break it down to me a little bit more, but let's just get into what she was saying. So the home is set for sales. Most likely these homes are going to be homes that are in Dolton, I would assume so. and maybe some outside of Dolton, because she's going to be allegedly buying it from scavenger sales. Scavenger sales are in different counties, okay? So she went into saying that the person must live in here for 5 years. They must complete the repairs in 90 days, 3 months. These are the same properties coming from the scavenger sale. Allegedly, they were going to pick specific properties that will be under this program, $5,000 program, versus the 1,000, i.e., possibly the ones that were in the dollar program would need more work. That's what she said, versus these, because she kind of go into it later on, because each time she talk about it, you're going to get a little bit more information and some repeat information. So 90 days is a little fast to make somebody fix up everything. So that'll make someone uncomfortable, especially if they're a new homeowner and they're coming from being a renter. They don't know all of the steps of what they need. So it takes time. Me, as when I was a new homeowner, I just did one thing at a time. I was like, I'm gonna paint the walls. Then I'm gonna look at this. Oh, why is these little flies in here? I'm gonna get the pipes flushed. You know, as things came up, but not 90 days, okay? Because 9 out of 10, you don't have all that money. So 2 inspections. Why? I don't understand. Okay. And if you need another inspection, the fee goes up. Why? Why are you penalizing someone for them trying to get the home together? So that's a little restrictive. I don't like it. Lottery. I hope the lottery would have been held up the same way she kind of mentioned later on, by numbers and not by names. But you know how Tiffany do. And there will be yearly inspections. And 9 out of 10, she's going to make you pay for these inspections for the 5 years. That's like having a landlord coming to you for yearly inspections. In any home that I have, I don't get yearly inspections at all. You know, you do have the town that come around and make sure they drive around their little truck, make sure your lawn ain't crazy, things like that. That's just like coordinates with the town or the city. But to come in my home, you're acting like I hate them too. What do they call? Homeowners Association. You know, I can't stand the Homeowners Association. If y'all want to buy back team, that's one thing I tell y'all. Stray away from Homeowners Association. They toxic. They would drain you dry. And that sounds like what Heyard allegedly trying to do. And let's see, the last thing that's very troublesome to me, I'm going to be honest. If you don't abide by this, you will lose the property. There'll be some way that they'll put into the actual stipulations that if you don't abide by all of this, have you put all this money in the house and fixed it up, mind you, that you can lose it. What does that sound like, people? What does that sound like? I can see why the trustees was a little hesitant about this, but Heyard kept saying, you can add, you can take away, you can add, you can take away. So let's just get to the comments. After all this bad press, who in their right mind will want to buy or rent in Dolton? I mean, to be honest, but at this point, sometimes bad press turn into something good. You know, put some light on it, make investors come near. You know, you never know. Tax increase on savage sale properties discourage potential tax buyers. So if you can explain that a little bit more, Kathy, what does that mean? I could kind of respond. And it says, Isaiah, $100,000 is not a lot in today's economy. What do you mean by $100,000? What's $100,000? $100,000 investment versus the fair market value. It's not. It may be a lot for the average person. I'm an average person, and I tell y'all, I work contractor. $100,000 is not easy for me to come by. So maybe y'all know something that I don't know. I'm taking a long road. Maybe the narrow road is just making me take long. But tell me how $100,000 is not a lot in today's economy for us to come by to invest. You know what I'm saying? For the big businesses is nothing, because they already sucked up a lot of the profit. COVID pulled a lot of that money into the corporate hands, into government hands. As you can see, Dolton, there was that $3 million infused, and that's where allegedly the surplus came, allegedly. So you said $100,000 salary, is not a lot in today's. Yes, you 100% right. I'm glad you added that. All right, yes, $100,000 is really not a lot. It's not. people are burning through that. But I will say, if you budget and plan, you'll be able to make something with that $100,000. I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of us just splurge our damn money, just want to live our best life, into entertainment more than actually focus on assets. So if I had $100,000 salary, like, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. I have less than a salary. I have made less than that as a nurse, and I was able to do well with 2 kids. So it just depends. And I think us as the regular people know how to budget and plan. We really got to do better, and we got to stop participating in a system. Stop going to these stupid things where we spend hundreds of dollars on concerts and things like that. Take that and invest in something and let that junk bubble up. I think that's just my opinion. So let's get to it. We're gonna continue to listen to Heyard, and then I think we're gonna be moving on into another date.
Now, as it relates to contracts, I always say contact Village Hall, get on the contractor list so that residents can obtain you, meaning your company, to do the work as it relates to any of these houses, because they have to pull off the list. They can't just bring anybody in. And this is how it's helping give back to the community. If you had a business and you just started contracting, and now they can hire you to do the work for any of these dollar houses, free houses, $5 houses.
Let's stop right there. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme. First and foremost, as an investor, I want to have flexibility. Maybe I have my own contractor that I've been working with for years. So I understand, opening up the playing field to the residents, but to make it mandated, I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me know what y'all think. How many people will actually participate? And I want you to look at it from the resident's perspective, a renter, home buyer, and an actual investor. What would you do? Because I won't be messing with this.
Again, the $5,000 house is cosmetic. These are properties that don't need $20,000 to $50,000 worth of work. These are properties that need just like carpeting, flooring, paint, ceiling fans, little touches that I feel that a mom and pop couple can basically obtain for their child over time. Also, realtors, any realtors that's interested in listing the properties that will be for sale that the investor will have, they will have to get on the list. That's something that Trustee Norwood will oversee. So you'll get on the list, and basically you will list those properties that the village owns. But the investor is basically doing the rehab work. We are helping them sell it. So it's a win-win for everybody. Everyone makes money. Everyone gets the property sold, and we, as a union, meaning myself and the board of trustees, get what we want, which is home ownership throughout Dolton.
Oh, let me just stop right there. I'll read your comments, Kathy, because what you're saying is right. You're on point. But what she's saying is kind of against real estate law. You're supposed to give the buyers and investors their own pick of realtors, escrow companies. Yes, you can't force what they used. You can give them options. But I know definitely in the state of Georgia, and I think federally, because I went over this, you cannot do that. So I don't think this was a good idea. You can have the list available, but to make it mandated, this is where I think the trustees was questioning, because the law wasn't intertwined in some of her ideas. Like, I just thought about that. I was like, wait, she can't do that. I was like, that's like the seller the seller making a buyer use these particular companies. No. You know what that is. That's like nepotism. You're going to keep on referring the same realtors, and then they're going to end up taking over the market. No.
And putting the property back on the tax roll. We do not want, I want to say it like that. I mean, you trust attorney, because I don't want to say I don't want renters. But this program is not structured for renters. It's structured to turn a renter into a homeowner, yes. But you cannot rent any of these houses on this program. Just so we're clear on that.
You cannot make any money on this program. Let's just be clear on that.
We have another issue, which is, say for instance, is 6 people living in a household. Guess what? All 6 of you cannot bid on a house. It's gonna be one person out of that household to bid on that property. So you put your name in, whether you're the mom or whoever, the one that has the money to do the work, is who I would suggest they put their name in and have to get the property. Sometimes people put stuff in their child's name, just trying to teach them home ownership, but know that they gotta have the money to go with that in order to do the work. I know I said a lot in a nutshell, so I'll pause for a minute and let some trustees get some words in. Anybody have any discussion? No?
Well, quick question, ma'am. So I know that I asked you this once before, and I just want to know so if you can answer it for the residents that's been asking me, where are we getting these homes?
Okay, so we're getting the homes through a scavenger sale. So I don't know if anybody know anything about how scavenger sale works. It's when these go up for a tax sale. So say for instance, you're losing your home due to taxes. You go on a scavenger sale. But what I've been doing is looking at the properties that only are vacant, tore down, or need to be demoed, so to speak. I don't touch properties where residents live in and we got to evict them or kick them out. We're not going to do anything like that. We're just taking the properties that are actually really vacant.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I got a question.
Sure.
So that's how we get ownership. We get clear title through the scavenger sale.
Correct. So what you can do as a municipality is you can go in and do a no cash bid, and you can take over a property. Say for instance, if
So let's just stop right here before you listen to what she says. She's not answering the question. And Trustee Steve asked a good question. We're going to get into the Cook County scavenger sale website. That is just like a tax lien sale. That's just another name for it. And I think they will indicate that the risk is on the buyer. The title is the most important part you want to pay attention to, and how she doesn't answer it. Let's just listen.
That you are bidding on the property.
Let's go back again. One second. I'm sorry.
You have to open up as of yet, because I know everybody don't want the properties right away. But so what I'm saying, charge money to them, then that's how you probably a city can go in and say,
I got a question.
Sure.
So that's how we get ownership. We get clear title through the scavenger sale.
Correct. So what you can do as a municipality is you can go in and do a no cash bid, and you can take over a property. Say for instance that you are bidding on a property, Trustee Steve. So say you at the scavenger sale and you're going to bid on a property. A village, a municipality, a city can go in and say, we want this property, that property, that property, that property. Now it get pulled from the list, and it goes under the village or city or town, and then that's how you can acquire inventory for what we're trying to do here.
And when you say we can does that cost money?
It don't cost money to acquire it. That's what I'm waiting on now to get the process from county.
Let's start right here. First and foremost, you have an idea to go to a scavenger sale. And this is what I tell my students. Don't move forward with a plan unless you know exactly how to do it. So she says she's waiting to hear back from the county of how to do it. Now, it sounds like she's going to go to different counties and invest in scavenger sales, which is i.e. tax lien sales. Just an example. We're going to go to Cook County scavenger sale page, and just to get an idea of what it is. Now, for her to say, when he asks how much does it cost or would it cost money, she says she don't know, is very alarming. First and foremost, okay? You got to come in with a budget. Anytime that you're going to go invest in real estate, i.e. foreclosures, tax liens, tax deeds, you need to know what your cap, okay? That's first and foremost. And you need to know the process. So let's get into this real quick. This is what I do on Primetime Home Buyers, but I ain't going to read the whole thing to you guys. But here it goes. Scavenger sale information for tax buyers. That's what it is, like a tax lien sale. And she wants to buy from the tax lien sale. How funny is that? And these sales are very risky. And that's why I have the program. I'm just going to keep it real. The title is not clear. 9 out of 10, unless it's a deed state that offer clear title to you, that's different. But mostly all tax lien sales, foreclosures as well, and scavenger sale have some type of, how can I say, encumbrance, or they have some type of something attached to it, a cloud, some type of issue, be the cloud related to money, be it related to title transfer issues, things like that. So what is a scavenger sale? Under the Illinois law, the treasurer office is required to conduct a scavenger sale every 2 years. At the scavenger sale, taxes on the properties with 3 or more years of delinquent taxes are offered for sale. They are sold to the cash bidder. The amount bid may be less than the amount of the taxes and interest due. The highest bidder wins a lien on the property. It's you win a lien on the property. The scavenger sale is an attempt to return properties to productive use and return them to tax roll. It's a lien, not a levy. Okay. They're like, what's the difference? A lien is just you just get interest in it. That's what tax lien. You get interest in a certain amount of time, depending on what the situation is. You can move forward to foreclose on a property or gain title, and then you have possession. Okay, but let's finish because this is some of the areas I think that she's gonna go. Allegedly wanted to go. The annual tax sale, which is by law, the Treasury Office also must conduct a yearly auction to prior tax delinquent sales. So that's the original tax lien sale that they have yearly in the state of Maryland. This is Maryland. Don't kick my butt. Illinois. Okay. So they have a yearly tax lien sale, but the scavenger sales every 2 years. So what ended up happening is that some states have over-the-counter sales, and the ones that's left over from these tax lien sales, they will offer it to bidders to come in. Okay, I like that because they kind of more passive. But what Illinois decided to do is not have over-the-counter. Wait, what county is this? I said Illinois. Don't kick my butt. Yeah, not have over-the-counter and have yearly or every 2 years sales of the properties that's been sitting. Okay, does that make sense? So these are kind of the properties that wasn't sold at the tax lien sale. They kind of sitting. Now, that does not mean all the properties are trash, because as a tax lien investor, you sometimes I'll be fine. It's just that whoever's interested at the time, maybe you want rule, maybe you want this. I'm kind of going to the left, teach y'all about tax liens right now, but this is so y'all can get an understanding from the perspective of, you know, a buyer versus you being a regular investor, and kind of understand why Tiffany Heyard program was kind of out of pocket. Okay, so just know that these scavengers sell, the titles are not clear. 9 out of 10, the person who is back on their taxes, they're back on something else. Okay, and that's where I teach in my program to go look for these liens. These liens, you put a lien on this, but other people may have. They may have mechanical liens. They may have contractor liens. They may have an IRS lien on it. So you as the investor, once you buy something from this scavenger sale, it is on you. And you won't be able to transfer the title into your name until all the stuff is clear. And i.e., usually, I'm going to be honest, if you're doing it through a tax lien sale, I'm not sure about scavenger sales, what authority you have, but from a tax lien perspective, we first in line. So if we invest, that means that everybody else who have a lien on them on this house, except for the IRS, we will get in contact with them and say, hey, we're about to foreclose on this. We have about to get title. Do you want to pay us this, that, and the third? The only entity you cannot do that with is the IRS. But it's a process. This person can have 15 different liens on it, and you have to get in contact with all of them. And I'm going to be honest, in the Maryland area and in this area, they're very strict of their processes. So it's going to cost you some money. You can already see how Heyard is getting down, trying to tax. I'm just keeping it real. As an investor, this wouldn't be a good idea. So this is a little bit about the scavenger sale. Just wanted to give y'all an idea of what it was versus the tax lien sale. This talks about the bidding requirements that she don't know about. How does bidding work? We're going to finish there, and then I'm going to get back to the video, okay? The successful bidder will be that person bidding the highest dollar amount. So you still have to bid. This amount may be less than the total taxes and interest due. That's because the property's been sitting. Pursuant to the Illinois law, the opening bid on a parcel at the scavenger sale must be at least $250. That's not bad. Or half of the total taxes due if such amount is less than $500. So, okay, that's not too bad. Thereafter, the minimum bid increase will be $50. Okay. Now, just know when you bid, it's supposed to be, you could bid on your own increments. So you could say $25 more, you could go up $100. So, yeah. Anyway, the minimum bid increments to expedite the sale. Oh, that's to make sure everything. And when the bid increase reaches $1,000, the minimum bid increase threshold is $100. Okay, so that's the bidding requirements. That's what Heyard need to know. I don't know why she's trying to wait for the county to get back to her. We just went to one of the counties and read it right off the website. This is what I do, y'all. So I know I told y'all a little bit about tax liens and tax deeds, but I hope you understand you have another way to enter the market, and that's what she was trying to do. But if you do that at your own risk, and you have to do your due diligence. And that's what I think the trustees was nervous about. They like, listen, we don't have time to be real estate investors and have this risk on us and have to have insurance. And if somebody get hurt at this property, it's going to be in us till we sell it. Okay. Until we sell it. So let me see. Kathy Fields, let me just put her comments. I purchased tax deeds in Georgia. Now I'm in the process of a quiet title action. So you purchased a tax lien in Georgia and it advanced. Now it's basically advanced to a tax deed. It's good in Georgia because you don't have to do the full foreclosure process. After the year, it's a year after you buy the tax lien, you put your bid on it. They have 1 year to pay you and to give you interest. I've got the interest in Georgia, probably 16%, right? And if not, all you got to do is quiet title action. Baby, I like you, Kathy. You part of the buyback team, girl. Let me find out. You know I got a state-to-state breakdown, girl. I like you. Okay. Yeah. I got distracted. Let's keep going. Y'all know I like real estate too. Let's go.
I've already been talking to them as it relates to it. So what I'm saying, she said we can do. So I was happy to hear that. But now I'm just waiting on the steps because, as you know, nothing has opened up as of yet. Because I know everybody don't want properties right away, but nothing has opened up as it relates to the scavenger sale yet. They don't even have a date for a sale.
It's every 2 years, according to the website. And I just told you what you should do. I don't know who's calling you to tell you what you should do, Heyard. This is supposed to be part of your plan. And this is why the trustees are skeptical.
But they have the list out. The list is out for whatever properties that aren't on the scavenger sale. And if anybody is watching this and you're on the scavenger sale, just go pay your taxes to redeem your home. And just put it out there.
And heads up, y'all, if y'all interested, the list do be out before the sale. So they'll put it in the newspaper and y'all can do y'all due diligence on buying these properties before it, right at the time that it's for sale. But doing your due diligence, meaning knowing if it's actually condemned, have liens, zoning issues, accessible, all of that is a lot. So the trustees like hell to the no. From a scavenger sale. Wait, let's save that for the private investors.
Okay, some of my residents are on that scavenger sale. Anything else, trustee?
I was gonna say I'm okay with moving it forward. I still think we need, being that we don't have a housing committee, I still think something like this can take a long discussion. And I know we don't want to be on these meetings long. So I think we need a meeting specifically just for this, just to iron out and get the specifics on it before we actually vote on it. Because I got the email and everything. I just wouldn't page it, but I want to get, I'm sure that once we vote on it, there'll be a legal document. I'm sure it'll have because there's a lot of loopholes that people can get in with that. So I'm with moving it forward, but I want to at least have another meeting. It doesn't have to be, maybe you can hold it yourself, Mayor, as far as just explaining this. And really, it may take an hour to go through this whole block program and make sure it's right and everything like that and get all the questions answered.
So you see how Steve was like, it could be some loopholes in this. I need a little bit more detail. And this is when he's asking it to go to the housing committee. And again, if you're from Dolton and you know about the housing committee meetings, please educate me because I couldn't find none of the meetings. Okay. I was looking to see. So if they did have them, they didn't put them on a public platform. But what I will say is when you listen to Heyard, now you're going to see her get a little annoyed with her low ass eyes. Excuse my language. Watching your eyes. Just pay attention. Sometimes her eyes be flat. I'm telling you. And then sometimes it be oval. And I'll be like, yo, what's up with her? But I'm going to shut up. I'll be watching too much. But listen to the way she gets a little annoyed. And it seems like she's trying to push this through. Okay. She's trying to push it through without all the details kind of being out there. And like I said, we put up a lot of legal issues just now. And Miss Kathy put up, what about the right to redemption? I mean, at this point, it'll probably, if it was the person had a right to redemption, it'll probably work in the favor of the county. If they bought it and the person redeemed, then they'll be getting their money back. And I don't know from the scavenger sale, they actually able to get interest. I can't say that, but I know from tax lien sale, the scavenger sale, I don't think so. But at least they'll be able to get them some money when a person can redeem. But let me clarify this. Okay. I don't think they have the right to redeem once they get to the scavenger sale. Let me say that. You know why? Because Illinois, where the hell is that? Don't beat my butt. Because they have a redemption time for tax lien. And that redemption time may be a year or two. So once they get to the scavenger sale, I would assume it's too late for them to have the right to redeem. I'm trying to look into my tax book, Oh God, I'm not about to go around. Let me go through the tax book. No, I'm doing tax liens tomorrow and tax deeds. But I love you, Kathy. That's a great point. But at this point, when it reached the scavenger sale, I think the homeowner lost the right to redeem. Let's say that. All right, that's a good question. But if they did have right to redeem, if they bought it off the tax roll, then they would have been receiving some money and some interest. You see what I'm saying? But nah, they're going in from the scavenger sale. So let's continue to play this.
Because we can be here for another 45 minutes asking questions about this. So, this is meeting dedicated to this.
I beg to differ on that. The reason why, as a trustee, you've known this program for over 2 years. So we vetted it through. This is when everybody was all together. Everybody looked at this. Everybody put their input in, related what to do, what not to do, what to change, and here we are. So I don't want to hold anything up as it relates to process, to starting everything. So we started. You still talk to the attorney. You can have whatever you want. If you feel something is missing, because they will be the ones that draw up contract or put things that relates in legal format for us. This is just a structure. It relates to how we get the property here in Village House. That's what this is. This structure. The legal part that I do comes from the attorneys. So, like, say, for instance, you don't abide by rules, or what would it say to take a property back? So, all of that would be attorney rent.
Now, I want y'all to listen. I kind of forwarded fast a little bit, but at the beginning of the live, you hear Heyard. I'm going back from May because this is a flashback. She feels some type of way because the idea that they was pushing, it was very abstract as well, and she feel like they gave that idea a chance and okayed it and did not okay hers to be abstractly presented and then built upon. Just to give you a heads up. Now, I don't know how to feel about that, but no, I do. In a way, I do. In a way, I don't know, because I'm like, yeah, that is kind of unfair. But I think the board members, to be honest, when you can't trust a cat that look like a cat, you ain't gonna play no games. You ain't gonna put no cat food out there. You ain't gonna do nothing for this cat to come eat and cause some damn trouble. So they like, nah, I don't think we want to deal with this because we could see a lot of issues possibly coming. That's the only way. I'm just giving you a heads up because this is what she's talking about. How she's trying to present it to get it started, and it just won't take off the ground.
Any other questions, trustees?
They have one, and maybe if you could elaborate a little bit on the last point in terms of the documentation when Attorney Raines is going to be drawing it up. Like, when will that documentation be available for review and make? So I think that may be going to Trustee Steve's point as well. Just making sure that it outlines maybe what the lottery process is. I know you verbally mentioned it, but even for the potential buyers, what documents will they be signing and all of that kind of thing. So I think it's a great program. I thought so years ago, and I think so today. But I think that, so Attorney Ramsey came up high. So if we can get an idea on when that documentation will be available as well.
So she can start drawing this up now. It's not an issue. It's just a matter of direction from the board on what you guys want, to input, and how you want to see things moving forward. So that's why it's on discussion, so that everybody can discuss and add or take away.
You say we have a discussion right now. I still think we need public residents' input on this. So even if we had a discussion, there may be something that somebody outside, a resident knows outside, that may give us some input. So even if we had a meeting, just to get down to the skeleton of it and move forward. So because there may be some things I want to add. Somebody may say I have another question, but if we have one meeting just on this, it will probably I'm sure it will work out great.
Okay. So as you know, people have been giving their input for the last 2 years to me as relates to housing programs.
Okay, I'm just gonna highlight a contradiction here because she says she's been waiting for people input and they ain't giving her input. And now Steve is saying, hey, let's have a meeting, at least sit here for an hour, get everything together as far as the housing board, and then present it to the people so they can add some more input. And she's like, yeah, it's been 2 years of input. We don't want no input. Let's listen to what she says. So you're kind of contradicting what you say, but we're gonna let y'all hear it.
You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to give input or add or change before we get to an actual voting meeting. So if somebody want to add something, say something, change something, they can. We got 2 weeks before we actually put it up for our actual vote. Right now, this is just a consent to move forward to structure the plan. We got to have a plan. So this is the structure for the base, and then the legal part of it, like I just stated, will come from attorney. Because you said everything else but about the blah, blah, blah housing program. So does that mean you are okay with this structure here? And you just really concerned about the legal part of it? Or what? I'm just trying to make sure I got clarity.
I'm okay with the block by block program, but like you said, this is what we've been working on 2 years ago. I remember when it came up before, but the question was a lot of missing gaps and stuff like that. All I'm saying, I'm okay with moving forward, but I said before it gets to a voting meeting, maybe if that's what I said, if we had a housing committee, that would we could discuss it, everything there and lay everything out. Maybe it take an hour, 2 hours, and really make it as transparent as possible, and then move forward with it. Even if Mayor, you had one for yourself and said we're gonna have a meeting on a block by block, so we can explain it. Some people may want to come join in and watch. If we just had a meeting strictly on that, just to make sure that we got all our I's crossed, or our eyes with eyes dotted and T's crossed. So that's only my suggestion I have, but it's up to the board.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, ma'am, I'll be recognized. So just in regards to what the other trustees are saying, I agree. I'm interested in moving forward with your program. I would like to know, like the attorney is going to deal with the legal ramifications. However, I'm just wondering as a board, and in general, will we be able to have a meeting with the residents so that maybe we can get input in regards to anything that, like he stated, we may have missed, or just to come up with a consensus on how this program will work in our village and how it could benefit the residents. So if that's possible in terms of me with just being transparent and letting the residents give their input, because I did, and I think I explained this to you. I did have a resident, as a realtor, I was just showing them a property, and they mentioned your program, and they had a few questions, and they were interested in the program. They thought it was a good program. But a few of their suggestions, I was like, oh, okay, I can run that past you. So just in regards to getting their input, I'm okay with moving forward, but I am interested in knowing if we can have something where the residents can get their input, or you can post it and just let the residents.
So you see what they're continuing to ask. Let's just have a more deep discussion and also have residents input. And this was July 19, 2021. I think this was what date was this on her? That's like the first date where they did have someone to come in that was a real estate expert that wanted to give some ideas and help. Because, some suggestions. And like you said, you see you're talking from two sides of her mouth. She's saying, y'all not giving no ideas. Y'all not getting back to me. And now I put it on the board. Y'all not approving it. And she like, hey, well, we do have some people. Let's do it in these housing meetings. And then we kind of like X these things out that are legal, because you have to have a realistic plan. And that scavenger plan may come with more liabilities than needed.
Get more information, or we can answer their questions so that the entire village know how we're going to
speed it up a little bit.
Okay,
so I don't have a problem with getting input from anybody. I just don't want anything to get held up because of a few people or whoever is not like engaged with what we do here at the village. Half the time, people get this information through word of mouth. So if somebody hear about it and everybody come right into the village, oh, what about this program? We have to explain to them what it is. So what I want to do for the board, so everybody keeps saying, have a meeting. I have a meeting tomorrow, because that's how passionate I am about this program. Tomorrow, via Zoom, so whoever's watching this, and y'all can ask 1,000,001 questions about
tomorrow.
Block by block. Attorney Raines, are you available for Zoom?
She said legally you can't do it tomorrow, Tiffany.
But the board is not, if the board will be participating, we'll have to do a proper notice, so that'll be the other thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a town hall meeting. Mm-hmm. So that you can ask their questions about block by block. So y'all let me know, how y'all feel about that, and then I can announce it later if that's what the board wants to do. But block by block been forever, and we've been sitting on it. I guess I still oppose the board, and y'all tell me what y'all see, is best. Okay, so let's start with, trustee Holmes.
That's me. I agree, we have to move forward with rebuilding Dolton. I do know that, the board and you are passionate about getting the message out to the community and letting them know, and also the attorney from across the T's and dot the I's and get the information to them too. So we have plenty of time.
Shut up.
Until this comes up.
So that's why you will see.
Oh no, he got on my nerves.
It's just for an update, we'll get to the next board meeting.
All right, just know that I was looking for this meeting that they possibly had after this. So this was the July, and then just make sure I got it right. I just look, because I'm looking right now. This was the July 19th meeting. So I was looking to see if I can find those meetings in between, and I could not find it. I'm gonna keep on Dolton Finance Committee meeting, and there's a few under there. So if I can find that these special meetings that they had and talked about it, we're gonna revisit it. But honestly, I don't know what they're talking about. Let's keep playing, because I wanted to see the details. I wanted to see what they said, how they went back and forth, who ideas was what did they bring to the table.
This is a discussion. Everybody keeps saying housing committee meeting, but this is the same thing. This is a committee meeting. It's just with 6 heads instead of 3. So my thing was to have everybody have an input as it relates to the housing department. So that's why you will see something about housing probably on every agenda as it relates to a POW meeting, because I want everyone to talk about it instead of going from committee, you got to come back to a board meeting and go to a voting meeting. So that's my
that's okay.
Take on it. Okay, trustee Marley.
I'm interested in moving forward, like I said, there as a realtor. I mean, it would be right if I did, go through a few things and make my suggestions in regards to how we can have one of the best block by block programs that there is. If that's something we're going to implement. So I'm interested in moving forward. I just would like more details, but I know that you said that you're more than willing to chit chat with me to see about any suggestions that I may have. So we're fine. I'm interested in moving forward.
All right. Thank you. What's here? Trustee Belcher. Is she there?
Trustee Belcher, I don't know if you told, she had got into
She didn't know that Trustee Belcher left.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I can't
hear. Trustee Belcher had got into a car accident. She said she was in pain. So I think she said she was in a lot of pain, so I think she had to get off.
Okay. Trustee Steve.
Yeah, I'm okay moving forward. Let's get the specifics. I know it'd be quick to try to pull out a meeting tomorrow, but within 2 weeks, I think we can have one, and let's dedicate a whole hour or so to it, and then we can make sure everything's right, and let's move forward.
Okay, Trustee House.
I'm in agreement.
So move forward.
Yes, move forward.
All right, Clerk King.
4 A's, motion passed.
2 things here. The motion did pass to get this on the table. Second thing that I noticed, I think this is what caused the issue between the clerk and the mayor, because I didn't understand what was wrong. Why is the clerk and the mayor beefing? It's because Heyard was superseding the clerk's job. You can see when we watching, she usually she like call the people, and that's not her job. I think that's what I was thinking. Like, what's wrong with the clerk? Why the clerk and Heyard start beefing? It's other things as well, but as Heyard said, people need to respect her position. She has to respect other people's position. I kept watching that, and I was just watching the clerk like, and then watch the next clip. The clerk gonna say, "Well, your call did already." And this is some of the little key things that I pay attention to see how this contentiousness happened between them. So let's keep it
2
playing.
absent.
We're gonna move on to August 2nd after this.
And then you have to find out when she left to document for trustee Belcher.
She said she. Okay. I will say this. I love you guys, and this is my opinion. I'm gonna keep watching so I can, expand my horizons. But I see contentiousness from the beginning with Miss Belcher against Heyard. Honestly, I do. I see it. When she's talking about things, Belcher's face is twisted up. From the beginning, I don't know what happened between these two young ladies. I pray y'all could tell me. It's something else. But right after, it seems like Belcher did not really want to have nothing to do with Heyard. I'm going to keep it real. So I'm just making an observation. I'm not saying that's why she got off of this live. But when y'all watch, y'all see. I've been paying attention. In this particular live, too, and there's another one about this. Miss Brittany Norwood was kind of excited about this. She really was excited at one point. But I think when it wasn't transparent enough for Miss Norwood, she kind of backed up. And that's why you see her in the first part kind of getting into it. Because what I was listening to is that Miss Norwood actually invests in real estate as well.
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll go over my report really quick.
Oh, they used to be good friends. Tell me what happened.
I submitted
Look at that. Okay.
To Administrator Brown in regards to seeking to.
Tell me what happened. I would love to know what happened between them. I know I feel contentiousness. I know when somebody has something underlining, and it's something between them two ladies. And it started probably a couple of months after Heyard got in.
An increase in annual rental license registration and inspection fees.
Okay, so this is moving forward. We're on August 2nd. In her little video, she stated August 20 was another day that another time that she did a petition for the block to block. It is no August 20th. I couldn't find it. I found August 2nd. But what I found interesting in August 2nd was that the fees were going up for the people who were going to be possibly investors in these particular properties. And I was like, oh, setting up shop, huh?
According to the current ordinance that we have, which is ordinance number 09468, basically pertaining to fiscal impact, the Village of Dolton Housing Department currently has a rental registration fee of $50 and an inspection fee of $35 per unit. So in total, it's $85 for a single family home, and then an increased value if there's a multi-unit property. Revenue generated for 2019 was in the amount of $56,460 for rental registration and $57,645 for rental fees. Revenue generated for 2020 was $45,250 for rental registration and $46,730 for rental inspection fees. The amount generated in 2020 was decreased, due to circumstances, of course, surrounding COVID-19 pandemic. The recommendations that we've come up with is that the Village of Dolton Housing Department is seeking to increase registration and inspection fees due to, one, the rental fees have not been increased since 2009.
Wait.
Then two, in comparison to other towns and municipalities,
Hey y'all, what is rental fees? I'm an investor. Well, what the hell is rental fees? Do you do that? Do the investor has to pay the county to rent their own property? Or do the renter has to pay the county to rent? Please, somebody clarify that. I ain't never hear that a day in my damn life. See, that's where you have the counties having their own codes and rules and regulations, okay? And all of these extra taxations. Please, somebody clarify that. I've never heard that a day in my life.
Village of Dolton is significantly lower. And then three, the increase in fees will also generate an increase in revenue. Therefore, the proposed recommendation is to increase the current rental registration by $50, which will make the rental registration $100 yearly. And then in addition, increase the inspection fee by $50 for single family homes and an additional $40 per unit for multi-unit properties. So instead of basically a single family home will be $85, currently $85, it would increase to $200. And then the value of the rental inspection is $35 will increase to $75 for multi-unit properties only. So we originally passed an ordinance, which is ordinance number 09468 regarding registration fees and inspection fees. And so now we're just looking to see if we can get the board's approval to increase the current fees that we have now. Again, we haven't increased the fees since 2009.
All right. Any trustees have any questions that relates to the fee sheet suggestion? Any board members? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the increased rates for the housing department?
Make a motion that we approve the increased housing rates that is proposed by Sharon Harris for housing.
Second by Holmes. I heard two people.
Second by Holmes.
Okay. Call roll. Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
And Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes.
They passed that.
Now,
They,
so you recognize
I was
for
down
another
for that.
Sure, I mean,
I don't like it. I mean, I know you got to make some more money, but baby, we didn't get paid more money. So to imagine, it says single family inspection fees for single family 200 times 3, because you got to get it if you was under that program for $5,000. Fees is paid every 2 years. So yeah, she did clarify on Long Island. Thank you, Kathy, because I just Googled, is it rent fees out here? And they like, no. I was like, okay, what the hell? Okay, Long Island, New York, we have rental fees that the landlord pay. Okay, thank you for clarifying, because I'm enjoying it right now. I got a little flexibility. You know, they do what they want when they want to. But we don't have that right now. But maybe a Pacific County has one out here, because, you know, they do what they want. That's ridiculous, yo. They try to tax us every way. It's funny because just to get sidetracked, is this post that I found. They was like, they tax you on your paycheck. They tax you on what you spend. They tax you when you get money in. They tax you on your college when you take money out your pension that you save. They just tax on. So what do we really get? What do we really get? All right. I just wanted y'all to see kind of how the game is kind of being set up here. You know, where I'm not saying the trustees involved, because somebody said this, but I'm on my business. But what I will say is that I don't totally agree with the increased fees, and I don't think that will help attract investors into this program. And I don't think that's helping the residents, because the residents is suffering. But maybe they're making hundreds of thousands in Dolton, because $100,000, as he said, is not even enough to live right now, because inflation is on ridiculousness.
okay, so our current licensing year is usually aligned with
we're going to fast forward a little bit.
Meaning that it starts May 1st to April 30th. So I just wanted to pass.
I'm saying no, but I like this will be some business, everybody can have a further discussion.
Okay, motion failed. Okay, thank you so much.
Hold on.
I'm saying no.
I think this is November meeting. So this was another motion. Okay, now this is Village Cow meeting November 15th. So we're moving forward because there was no August 20th, like Tiffany referenced, but I did notice on August 2nd, they pulled the slick shit, the ninja. But I'm trying not to say the nigga, but I said it. I'm gonna call it the ninja slick shit. That's what they did on that day. All right, so now we're moving into November 15th, 2021. And what happened there was she presented it again.
Okay, thank you so much. So the next one, we do a roll call on the empty program for 30 days for parking tickets to assist the village of Dolton. We're putting the houses back on the tax roll.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you, Mayor. The item, we're gonna go with discussion and possible action regarding the South Suburban Land Bank. The
land bank. So this is, I think, when they present the land bank. Let me just make sure. South Suburban Land Bank. Okay, so now you guys is going to get a detailed breakdown of what the land bank has to offer and why Tiffany Heyard was like, hell no. I could understand, but then I'm going to break down why they couldn't see the benefit of using the land bank.
Thank you, Mayor. The South Suburban Land Bank is a free option to assist the village of Dolton. We're putting the houses back on the tax roll. So I like to introduce them as an option, and we can always add other programs in the future. So I'll ask that Miss Liz Castaneda with the South Suburban Land Bank, if she can present and just show us how we can benefit as a village with the land bank.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Mayor Heyard and to Trustee Heyard for inviting us to speak with you all tonight. I'm just have a brief PowerPoint deck. I'll make it quick. I'll go ahead and share that. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Now,
so yes, thank you very much for
have the patience. Now they're gonna go through a PowerPoint, and this is what I think Heyard should have did. Message to Heyard. Please stop making videos. We're not all children. Not saying people who make videos as children, but if you're in business and you're about to present something to get funded, at least have a PowerPoint and an actual business proposal ready. How about that? And we teach you how to do business proposals, like introduction to the structure of a business proposal on Primetime Home Buyers. Free, right there on Secure Your Entity. I did a whole hour and a half video breaking it down for you. I put it in a link here. You gotta get it together, Miss College graduate. So this is what made, like I said, the trustees a little bit uncomfortable because she couldn't present something like this.
having us speak tonight. We're excited to let you know what we're up to with the South Suburban Land Bank, and also for discussing how we can be a valuable economic development partner for Baltimore. So my name is Liz Castaneda, Outreach Manager for the Southland Development Authority, and I'm also joined by the Southland Development Authority CEO, Bo Kemp, who's also on the screen. We'll just go ahead.
I'm gonna see, can I make it go a little faster? Y'all can hear her voice. If y'all can hear her voice, I'm gonna make it speed a little faster.
So we have a brief slide deck that we'd like to go through relatively quickly, so there's enough time for you to ask any questions you might have. So the purpose of us coming here today is to formally introduce ourselves, give you an update on the recent South Suburban Land Bank news, and to also have a dialogue with you about how we can be a valuable municipal partners in furthering both blight reduction.
I think it's too fast. Wait, I don't want to make
it. Next, we'll just spend a minute on.
I don't want to make it sound too fast. I want you guys to comprehend what the land bank is offering. Okay, so it's gonna be a little dry for the next 5 minutes, but just listen, Lisa. Okay.
Background. So some of you may already be familiar with how a land bank takes a highly distressed property and turns it into a nice place for someone to live or do business. But this infographic here is a great representation of that process that we like to include when we're speaking with members of our municipalities in the Southland. So the 4 colors you see at the bottom here, these 4 arrows, those show the trajectory of a single property from the initial stage where a private owner is either not paying their taxes or they're not maintaining their property even after code citations, which harms the neighbor's property values and also costs the taxpayer money in terms of the village having to keep the property mowed and keep it pre-secured for when people break in. And so next you see here, the unit of local government will decide to file foreclosure on the property for unpaid taxes or for code enforcement. In many cases, the local government is not equipped or simply doesn't want to be a landlord, and so they deed the property over to a land bank who is staffed to manage it.
Guidelines, I try to, but in my face, in my spirit, they know that I don't play. And they know that at the end of the day, I will never be sloganary. I will never go for a corporation over the people. I will never choose a bad actor over the people. I don't care if they famous, not famous. I'm going to make sure that y'all have the upper hand. I don't give a damn. I have no loyalty to just trash. The only loyalty I have is to the Most High Yah. And I think that's what they see. But I am smoothed out, y'all. After 5 years of getting my ass whooped by YouTube, I'm telling you, it was spanking my ass. I learned how to calm down a little bit. I did. Because I just felt like if I'm going to come on a platform, I'm going to be free. I can't be free at work. I got to be a certain way as a mother. I got to be a certain way here. So I just wanted to come and show y'all everything. But I had to learn that certain platforms don't agree with certain stuff. So that's why I have Rumble. And I have Big Chew. Y'all don't know nothing about Big Chew. That's more Caucasian people up there acting like a damn fool. When I first got on that page, they was cursing me out like, who the hell you think you are, you black bitch? I was like, yo mama, the creator of the earth, the original, baby. That motherfucker shut up like, damn, I don't know what to say to her. What's next? You know what I'm saying? So I love you guys. I'm going to put some music up for my Hebrew brothers, and I will see you tonight.
The Garden of Eden, I guess the Father who in heaven made us all for no reason. I guess if you disrespect him, you are part of the reason. They don't understand what I'm saying, it's a lot. People from my past feeling salty, I'm like, lot. They thinking they could take me off my path, I'm like, nah. My body is a temple of the Most High and it's locked. Tell me what am I to do if they after me? I'm like T, I'm not after you, alphabet. Got me wondering what Christ would do, live passively or confront what I'm. Too much hatred in our hearts with the love of the Bible. Our whole nation grew apart, but we claim we united. Ain't no embracing with our arms, but we hugging a rifle. I'm impatient with these stars, let me wait for revival. Mashiach, we need you.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Okay, next.
A bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
Experience a global adventure with our mineral wash cut-off sleeve t-shirt, featuring a unique design inspired by cultures worldwide. Perfect for any occasion. Add it to your wardrobe today and join us on this epic world tour.